the earth, the way in which they make us believe that it's a ball earth. You know, for thousands of years, mankind has been thinking that the earth is flat. And now all of a sudden, about 500 years ago, Mr. Copernicus, of course, who actually was a sun worshipper, decided to make it look like everything revolved around the sun. Now, this doesn't really fit with me, right? Because he made up all these mathematical formulas, right? And it was based on if. Like, I'll make a mathematical formula based on if the earth revolves around the sun. And, you know, and that's why they invented gravity, and, you know, this is what pulls everything to the earth. Now, are you telling me, right, that the same gravity that holds us onto the earth so we don't fly off into space is the same force that holds the whole ocean onto the earth? I mean, the ocean is so heavy, right? You can imagine that whole body of water getting held upon the earth, and yet we're just flittily running around, jumping around on the earth as if the gravity is only very minor. And yet that same gravity is holding the moon in place, so that doesn't fly off into space. So imagine the force of the gravity that holds that moon into place in its orbit. Not too close, not too far away, just the right amount of gravity, just to hold it there. I mean, this is just bullshit. And then they're telling us that the gravity of the moon is what's causing the tides to occur. So the gravity force of the moon is pulling the ocean up. So why doesn't it pull us off the earth? Like every now and again, you know, the gravity force comes along and then all these humans start flying off the earth because the gravity is increased from the moon. You know, we don't feel any gravity force from the moon. I don't see anybody's hair standing up on its end. And yet it's strong enough to pull a whole body of water up like that to create a tide. It's all bullshit. Everything they've taught us in our textbooks is just bullshit. It's Copernicus rubbish. You know? NASA and all their boys pretending they've gone to the moon. All that crap. If you have a good look at it, this is what I want you to do, right? I'm not here to tell anybody how it is, but I'm just using my own logic. You know, when I'm a kid, people tell me how it is, and I accept it. I go to school, I read the textbooks, you know, and I say, okay, the world is a globe, la la la, we've got Einstein, he's a smart man, let's believe what he says. But is that true? You know, I'm an adult now, and I've got my own reasoning, and I've got my own choices, and I've got my own mind to think about logic. I don't have to rely on someone else's mind. I believe in what I see and what I hear. And what I read, I can either take it on board and believe it, or I can reevaluate things, reprogram my mind to see things the way they truly are, not the way I've been told. It's like as a kid, you're really influential, right? You get influenced by everything. Music, the arts, the governments, everything you read, your teachers, you know. But then as you get older, you're supposed to turn into an adult and have your own reasoning. You see, we've been conditioned just like a computer. If you program a computer, the computer can only give you the answers that's been programmed into it. Okay? If you run some analysis through it or whatever. Its limitations is what it's been programmed by man. Our brains are the same. Our mind is the same. We've been programmed to believe by these fuckwits at the top, who are maniacs, that are running this world. And you can see, as things are going at the moment, it's almost like there's an imminent third world war going to occur between the nations, because of course, you know, you've got China that's a growing economy. You've got Russia that's strengthening with their military power. You've got the Middle East uprising there. And of course, the petrodollar of America has dropped. No one's using it anymore. And so these powerful countries that have been running the earth for the last 200 years, which is England and America, are not going to give up without a fight. So if anyone threatens their position, of course there will be a war, a Third World War, a limited nuclear war, of course. Anyway, I want to touch on some biblical stuff, right? The Bible clearly tells us that the earth might actually be flat. It depends how you... I mean, Scripture is open to interpretation. Now, if you read Job, I'm going to put something up from Job so you can see it with your own eyes. It's where Job is questioning God, and then God comes out and says, and talks to him and says, look, this is the situation, okay? You're only a man. You have limitations. Do you have a great understanding of who put the earth there? Who stretched the sky out? You know, just like it's a piece of plastic, just stretched it right across, okay? This is God talking to Job and telling us, basically, and God doesn't lie because God's perfect. For those of you who believe in God, God is a perfect God, right? So when he speaks, he doesn't talk the roundabout way like we do. He speaks with perfection, and he doesn't lie, and he doesn't make mistakes in his speech. And so when he says something, as recorded in the Scriptures, that's exactly what it means. And when he says here, if you have a look here, it says, who set its measurements in case you know, or who stretched out a measuring line across it? Into what were its pedestals sunk, and who laid its cornerstones? So what do you think that means? That's clearly telling us that maybe the earth is standing still, sunken into something, like into a flat earth, you know, with a pedestal. I mean, why would God say that it had a pedestal? This clearly doesn't tell us that the earth is flying through space, you know, like they tell us it is. You look at this place here. This is the Antarctic, right? Now you try and get yourself to the Antarctic. You jump on a boat and you go out to this place, and you're going to have 10 helicopters on top of you trying to airlift you out back to a jail, okay? This place is being guarded by the governments. They won't let anyone go anywhere near it. What about Admiral Byrd? He went to the Antarctic. He had Antarctic expeditions back in the 40s, I think it was, and from what I've read. And he was questioned. He did an interview on TV, and I saw that on YouTube once, and he said that they asked him if anything was beyond the South Pole region, and he said, oh, look, there's a landmass beyond the South Pole greater than the landmass of America. Yeah, America's a pretty big country, you know. So that's Mr. Byrd telling you that there's something beyond the South Pole. Now you have a look at this. This is interesting, right? This is a treaty they got going, and look, they've got borders here for all the countries in the world to protect the South Pole. It's funny how they all get along all of a sudden, you know. When it comes to the South Pole, they all get along. When it comes to mainland, they're all fighting each other, sending off, you know, trying to take over one another. But when it comes to the South Pole, for some unknown reason, they're all protecting it. Maybe because it's a boundary. Maybe because it encircles the whole Earth, holds all the waters in place. You know, maybe they don't want anyone to go beyond the South Pole in case we find out the truth. Anyway, it all seems a bit strange to me. I'm going to leave a bit of music going for you. I'm Vas Vegan. Thanks for listening to my little rant about the flat Earth. I don't know. I'll tell you right now. I don't know if it is flat. I don't know if it is round. I'd like to know why NASA doesn't show us any real pictures. Where's the real pictures of the round Earth? All the pictures you see are CGI. They're all been messed around with, you know. They can't take one snapshot of the Earth while they're in space. It's a load of crap. Most of the shit you see on YouTube with NASA, it's all bullshit anyway. But anyway, this is Vas Vegan. I'm going to get into make another video about something else shortly. And thanks for listening. If you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe, the more subscribers I get, the more videos I'll put up. Thanks for watching. Well, thanks for listening. Bye.
Gonna dance today. sea.